بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ثم أما بعد. Today I'm going to give you inshallah a small story to show you the wonderful religion that you are enjoying, to show you how this religion is so merciful. This is from the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which each and every one of you should know, which is the practical steps of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how to apply the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to us. Abdullah ibn Jad'an. Abdullah ibn Jad'an is one of the chiefs of Quraysh, extremely generous. And by the way, generosity is number one, or among the number one good manners and characters of the Arab at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even before Islam commanded the generosity and taking care of the needy and taking care of the guest, for instance, they used to have that. Abdullah ibn Jad'an, at the time of Hajj and such, used to slaughter 1,000 camel to feed people. That's how rich he was and how generous he was. To show this, at his home, a huge covenant and agreement took place between the tribes because of one person. A tradesman from a different tribe came with his goods and he sold it to one chief. His name is Al-As ibn Wa'il. And he was really highly respected chief. He took the goods, but he did not give him the due rights. Yani the price was not given to that man. So he called on his tribe to help him get his right. They turned him down. Not only that, they told him to not even mention it. Why? Because Al-As ibn Wa'il is a big guy. He's such a respected person, an honorable person. You don't want to mess with that guy. So just like any oppressed person, when someone having a problem, he goes to the imam, he goes here and he goes there, and if he cannot get anything solved, what is he going to do? He's going to start talking about it. So he went to the mountain of Qubais early morning when all the Qurayshi people around the Kaaba, and he screamed so loud, complaining about his right, and his money was taken and no one is supporting him. So they heard him, and naturally when you have bad people, a person can be hateful to you, but he has some goodness in him. Not every bad person is bad 100%. And maybe all agreeing on something bad, and all of a sudden one pulls out and cannot stand it, because the nature of the human being, when you are created, you like the truth. That everyone likes the truth. Nobody likes the falsehood or the lies. So one of those things is zulm, oppression and aggression. One person, his name is Zubayr ibn Abdul Muttalib. He heard that man and he said, that shouldn't be it. We don't accept things like that. So he gathered some other people, he spoke to them, some chiefs, and went to the house of Abdullah ibn Jad'an, and they made the agreement that anyone is oppressed, we will be one hand against him until we get his rights back. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was 20 years old then. And we know he became a prophet when he was 40, so he's not even a prophet. He attended that with his cousins, with his uncles. And he was so happy with it because it supports the oppressed person, because it's such a humane thing, something that someone, there's nothing worse than oppression. Someone take your right forcefully and you can't get it, and no one helps you on that. That's horrible. Nobody likes it, nobody can stand it. So they gathered there, they said, we will be one hand. And what did they do? They took people from each tribe and they went to Al-As bin Wa'il and forcefully made him pay the money for that person who sold him the goods. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he attended that and he said, I have attended an agreement or a confederate thing that I would not exchange it with the best of wealth if someone were to exchange it. And if I am called to something like that, in Islam, I would answer it and be part of it and support it. What are we learning here? We're learning that when it comes to goodness, when it comes to things that supports one another, things that build communities, societies, nature, and all of that, we are one hand, believers and disbelievers and disobedience and everyone. And no one can come and say, as I said this morning, I said, if someone from the disbelievers tells you that there is something so good for people, know for a fact it is part of our religion. The problem is you don't know it. And if something was good there and someone turned it down, know it's because he or she ignorant about their religion or don't understand the religion properly. I'll give you an example, because some people might tell you, oh, you should not do that, this person is disobedient, or this person is not a believer. Well, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ participated in that, and he said, if I am in Islam, I would do that. Do what? Participate with pagans or non-believers on something good, which is lifting oppression, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like it. So justice is what Islam calls for. I give you an example because they don't want to imitate. Okay, how about if a non-believer teaching people how to swim to save people when they are drowning? Are you telling me that I cannot learn how to swim because I will be copying them? That's ridiculous. We have some, I wouldn't call it science, but a branch in our religion called masalih and mafasid, and maqasid and wasa'il, objectives and means. If the objective is noble and the mean is noble, definitely you have to do it. Meaning, I want to support the oppressed person. I would not do something haram to support him, but as long as the means are right, I would do that. Why am I talking about this? Because today, as you know, this is drug-free week. What are we doing here? We're trying to just raise awareness that drugs are your enemy unless prescribed by doctor and according to our religion. Using the drug is prohibited, and abusing the drug, which is prescribed by the doctor, is also prohibited. So what are we doing? We are to say here that we are against anything that alters our mind. We are against anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibits, and everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibits harmful for you. It's either harmful for your religion, or harmful for yourself, or harmful for your brain, or harmful for your wealth, or harmful for your progeny or your family, for sure. And drugs definitely affects your brain, and if you have your brain affected, how can you serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How can you be just? How can you raise children? How can you work? How can you do all of those things? So our religion is against it. So we are against it, not this week only, but every second of our life. What do we mean by against it? It's not just we talk against it, no, we work and act against it. If I know someone doing it, Muslim or non-Muslim, I will report him. Why? Because this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. He wants to make sure that no one spreads evil. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Allah, wallahu la yuhibbul mufsidin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like those who spread mischief on earth. Allah wants islah. Islah is to improve life, to do good with people. So, alhamdulillah, you are Muslims and you are aware of that. I just want to make sure that you all know that don't be surprised if someone comes with something and tells you this is bad for you, and oh, mashallah, it's there, but it's in your religion, habibi. Before you even smile or praise or anything, it's in your religion. You just need to go read and check it out. That's number one. Number two, when you are seeing evil, you are supporting and you put hand with anybody's hand to stop the evil, just like drugs, just like oppression, just like anything else. And to know that Islam came for nothing but to make sure that we have a happy life, a wonderful life in this life and in the hereafter. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibits, it's because it is bad for us. And whatever He commands, it's because it is good for us. Sah ya Shaykh? Any questions? No questions? SubhanAllah, you know, I said to myself, today I'm going to finish exactly at the bell. And if I terminate without asking any questions, I would have had done it. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. See how quiet you are? Just like that. Get up and pray to rak'ah and let's leave on time.